Welcome to the Cyclones Guardian Orientation. My name is Mrs. Kessler, and I'm going to just do a real quick overview of our slideshow. Please know you can always contact all of the Cyclones teachers through email, and you can also give us a call. So why are we putting this slideshow together? Well, we want you to know who we are, what we're teaching, and how you can help us, how we can help each other support our students. Who are the teachers? Well, here we go.
Hi, my name is Andrea Hart. I am the math teacher on Team Cyclones. Before I get started and talk about a little bit about math, I want to talk a little bit about myself, just to kind of you can get to know me even if we haven't been able to meet. This is my fiance, Philip. We got engaged on New Year's Eve last year, and we are getting married on October 30th. So I will become Mrs. Kearns, and the kids keep asking me if they will get in trouble if they call me Miss Hart after I get married. And I'm like, no, it's fine. That's hard to get used to after you've been calling me Miss Hart for 3 months. These are my two cats, Colby and Jack. Yes, they are named after cheese. They're orange. Of course they're named after cheese. It makes a lot of sense. This is my 8th year of teaching. I started in elementary school, but then realized that really teaching math was my real passion. So I had actually also gotten a degree in math in college, and so I decided that that was where I wanted to be. So I also have my master's degree in math or in education from Mizzou, and I have an ed specialist in principalship from Arkansas State University. I watch a lot of TV. I have a lot of TV show loves, but these are a couple of my favorites. And then I also love to listen to music. I don't think I could live without music. I love Kansas City with all my heart. I don't know that I will ever be able to leave. Chiefs fan, Royals fan, love going to games, going to a game this weekend, super pumped about it. But I also love to read. Harry Potter, To Kill a Mockingbird are a couple of my favorites. I love to travel. I really hope I can go to Italy one day. But I also really love to go on cruises. I haven't been on one obviously recently, but hopefully I'll get to go on one soon. And Chipotle. I mean, I love a lot of food, but Chipotle is near and dear to my heart. So I have really enjoyed getting to know your students so far this year. They are a great group of kids. They're working really hard in math, and please never hesitate to reach out if you need anything.
Hi, Cyclones. My name's Courtney Kessler, and I'm the reading teacher on our Cyclones 7th grade team. I have been teaching since 1999. 9 of those years have been in Park Hill, and another 14 of them were up in Minter, Ohio, where we lived until the summer of 2020. I have 2 kids, and my husband, Sean, is a retired policeman. We love to go dirt biking and just do all things outside. Looking forward to getting to know you. Take care.
Hello, this is Miss Briescas. I wanted to first start by sharing a little bit about myself. I just moved from San Jose, California. I've been teaching there for about 10 years. And that's where I did my master's degree at the University of San Francisco in English education. I was born in Jefferson City, and I did my bachelor's in Spanish and journalism at Mizzou, and then moved to California, where I taught for the past 10 years. I am a big Frida Kahlo fan and Malala Yousafzai fan. Love reading and literature of all genres. These are some books that I've taught the past few years: All American Boys and Iqbal. Love Pan Dulce and Cafecitos, and hiking is one of my favorite activities to do with my family. So super excited to get to know everyone.
Hello, my name is Matthew Mabry, and I'm the Cyclone science teacher. This is my 17th year of teaching, and this is my wife, Emily. We have 3 kids. This is Elliot, my 3rd grader, Lucy, my 1st grader, and Evelyn, my preschooler. Some things that I do when I'm not teaching is I love to run, and I love bike riding. I went to school for Mizzou, so go Tigers. Love cheering on the Chiefs, and I am powered by warm coffee in the morning and cold coffee in the afternoon. I always like to include pictures of my 7th grade self and to show it to students to remind them you will not always look as awkward or as embarrassing as you think you do this year. I want to let you know I think it's a sincere privilege to be able to work with your child this year. I've been doing this for a while, and I can't fathom doing a more exciting or enjoyable job. And so I don't take the responsibility lightly to teach your student.
Hi, my name is John Burke, and I am the 7th grade Cyclone social studies teacher. Looking at my Bitmoji locker, I am very much into playing music. I have played in various bands throughout the years. I love playing guitar, singing, and I dabble in a little bit of audio recording. I am a huge Sporting Kansas City fan. I love going out to a sporting park and cheering on the boys in blue with Sporting Kansas City. Also a huge Chiefs fan. I'm really close with my family. I am very close with my mom and my grandmother, who is from England. And I consider myself a big nerd, so my quotes are do or do not. There is no try from Yoda. I think, that quote from Star Wars carries a lot of weight, especially with education. And with Lord of the Rings, Samwise Gamgee has always said, it's the job that's never started that takes the longest to finish. So I know sometimes, getting started on something can be sometimes the hardest thing to do. So that's a little bit about me. I look forward to getting to know you throughout the year and getting to know your student. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kate Best, and I'm a learning specialist on the Cyclones team this year. This is my second full year working at Walden, and I am so excited to be joining this amazing group of teachers and students in 7th grade this year. A little bit about me. Outside of school, I enjoy spending time outdoors, paddleboarding, biking, walking the dog. I also really enjoy iced coffee and cheering on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a great year of learning. Let's go Cyclones.
The next big question a lot of parents have is, what are we teaching your students? Well, here's what we have. So Miss Hart is our math teacher. I teach reading. Mrs. B, as she likes to go by, is our ELA teacher. Mr. Mabry teaches science. Mr. Burke is social studies, and Miss Buss is our learning specialist.
Hi, it's Miss Hart again. Going to talk about what we are going to learn this year in 7th grade math and what your students will learn if they are in the accelerated math class. So we've already started learning about rational numbers. Students have worked a lot with integer operations and how to compare and order rational numbers. Negative numbers are something that they haven't really worked with before. It's that they worked with it a little bit in 6th grade, but we're really getting into the negatives now. And then we're going to move into expressions, equations, and inequalities. And equations is something that a lot of students need a lot of practice with. So we will get a lot of practice with equations. Ratios, proportions, and percents is where we will go next. And that is a lot of where the real world application, students get to see that a lot more because it's ingrained. Percents, sales, tax, all of that is a part of ratios, proportions, and percents. Then we'll touch on a little probability and statistics, which is always fun. We do some games. Then we will work on geometry. So we'll look at geometric shapes, how to find area, circumference of circles, all that. We'll work with some angles, and then we'll do surface area and volume of 3-dimensional shapes. Then if you are in accelerated, if your student is in accelerated math, they will do all of that. And then whatever we have time for at the end, we usually start by covering 8th grade geometry, because if your student ends up in the Algebra 1 class in 8th grade, they won't get geometry. So I make sure I cover that with them. And then if we have time, we move into linear equations, a little bit more in depth with exponents and scientific notation, and then learning about real numbers and the Pythagorean theorem. Please never hesitate to reach out. As I said before, I am here for your student. My job is to help them. So if they're struggling, please let me know. I don't know what goes on at home. So if your student is struggling through assignments, please just let me know.
Hi again, Cyclones. Just wanted to give you a quick overview of our reading curriculum. This year we'll be reading all sorts of things, both in our 40-book challenge and as part of the Park Hill curriculum. In our fiction part of the year, we're going to be just learning all about the different genres and all the parts of a good fiction piece of writing. In the nonfiction part of the school year, we're going to be doing some research and learning how to do some survival skills, tying all that in with nonfiction. We're going to be doing public speaking, and we're just going to be doing a lot of reading.
Next, I want to share what we're learning in ELA this year. So there are 6 units. We're about 3 weeks into our first unit, communication in ELA, working on formal writing, email writing, an awareness of tone. All of our units will have grammar incorporated into them and will be kind of a reinforcement of what's being taught in Mrs. Kessler's reading class. So our units will be communication in ELA, crafting a story, information literacy, where we'll talk about research, MLA, citations, all that fun stuff. Then we'll do a poetry unit, an argumentative unit, and a culminating unit on what it means to be a writer. Everything will be posted in Schoology, and I'm new to Schoology, so I'm trying to organize it as best I can. But if there's ever any questions you have, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Thank you.
We have 5 units this year. It's waves, space, weather, human impact on climate, and reproduction. So as you can see, it's a crazy list of topics. I will tell you, we emphasize hands-on learning. We keep the kids moving. We keep them talking. And my goal is by the end of the year that I have the most scientifically literate 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds that we could hope for in terms of space and weather and climate change, because I am probably the last stop in the science curriculum train that they will have for those particular subjects. If you want to know details, please email me, but I guarantee you they're going to have a great time. We're having a blast.
Hi, it's Mr. Burke again. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be learning this year. 7th grade social studies is kind of interesting. Instead of taking a look at the ancient world like what we did last year in 6th grade, we're going to take a look at what's going on today. So a lot of the curriculum that is involved in 7th grade social studies has to deal around the themes of social studies. We're going to start with the foundations of geography, learning about where things are, why they're important, and how people interact with them. Afterwards, we're going to take a look at human-environment interaction to see how humans interact with their environment and impact the environment. Our 3rd unit will be over culture, what makes up culture, what do people find important with their culture, things like that. Then we're going to switch to government, taking a look at the different types of governments, from everything from a democracy to communism. We're then going to go over migration. So what are the reasons why people choose to migrate out of their native countries? And then lastly, we're going to talk about globalization, kind of how people are becoming more connected in the world. So that is a little bit about what we're going to be learning in social studies this year. Again, it's kind of an umbrella of information for students, but it is also very interesting. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of current events that are happening and getting students involved in what's happening in the world.
A big question we get asked every year is how can a parent support our 7th grade students? Here's some of our suggestions. Make sure that every night the laptops are charged. Make sure it is fully shut down. It actually helps a lot at school for the computers to be restarted each day. So having the kids get in the habit of shutting it down at night and plugging it in so it charges overnight would be extremely helpful. That's something you can do for us at home. Some expectations we have in regards to the big white Avid binders. Everything goes in those Avid binders if it's printed on paper. It goes with the students to every class, and it should go home daily. The front cover can have a personalized information page. We actually made those the first week of school. The side binder, where it has their name in large print, must stay in the binder. And they do need to have dividers with a tab for all of their classes, including Imagineers. We kind of discourage the kids from using those front pockets for anything other than homework or parent communication. We don't want them getting in the habit of stuffing everything in the pockets. That's why they have the dividers. And it would be helpful for students to have a pencil pouch where they carry their pens, pencils, earbuds that have wires. We cannot let them use anything that is Bluetooth enabled. A big topic in middle school, and actually from this point on, is cell phones. We do allow them to be in the children's backpacks, but they do need to be on mute. If you need to get in contact with your child during the day, they can ask permission to check for text messages, but the quickest and fastest way to get in touch with your child is to call the main office. If a child needs to contact a parent or guardian, they can ask to use their cell phones. We let them do this all the time. If they forget something for an after-school activity, we have no problem, if the timing is appropriate, letting a child use their phone to text a parent or guardian. Please make sure, though, if you really need to talk to your child, do not do it through their personal cell phone. You need to call the Walden front office. How do we grade on the Cyclones team? It's the same standard grading system across all the middle schools. We do an 80% grade and 20% grades. 80% grades are assessments. 20% grades are what you might think of more commonly as homework, but we do most of the work here at school. Students are allowed to do reassessments when it comes to big 80% tests. Most homework is due the next class period. Always make sure you're checking our week at a glance, which comes home in our weekly parent communication. And just so you know, if something gets a 3 out of 3 points, it was on time and done quality work. 2 points, it's probably late, but the work is probably still fine. 1 point or an incomplete means that it was not finished and probably turned in late. 0 points means that they didn't even try. Maybe they turned something in with only one thing written on it, but they needed 20 answers, or they were caught cheating. M means it's missing, meaning on the date that it was due, it was not turned in on time. The two big pieces of technology that you need to be familiar with as a parent of a Cyclone student are Infinite Campus and Schoology. Infinite Campus is where you're going to find your kids' grades. It's where we're going to send overall parent notifications, and it's also where you can see missing assignments. Schoology is what the kids use here at school. This is kind of in replacement of a lot of paper. We do a lot of things through Schoology. So kids can take quizzes through Schoology, they can watch videos, they can get access to other things such as Scholastic Scope magazines. Kids know how to use this. They've been using it. We do have a standard numbering system on our team. We try to make it very easy. We label everything the same in Schoology and Infinite Campus. So if something shows up as missing in Infinite Campus, you should be able to quickly go to that course and find the corresponding assignment in order to help your kids be successful and organized. If you want to look specifically for missing assignments, you will do that through Infinite Campus. On the left-hand side of the front page of Infinite Campus, you're going to go to Assignments, click on Missing. Make sure you also click Current Term. Once we get into second, third, and fourth quarter, those old assignments from past quarters and past units, we will not accept those anymore if they're too far past the due date. So we just want to focus on current term missing assignments. A program we are very proud of here at Walden is Character Strong. Our own Mr. Mabry is the head of it for our entire school. We meet as a Character Strong group with a group of students that is different from any other group they are paired with during the day, during the week. And we meet on Monday mornings during tutorial time. The sessions last about 30 minutes. We do a lot of really fun dares and talking and just really working on being good people. It is not academic based. It is working together, getting to know each other, and building relationships, not only with the students, with each other, but also our teaching staff with all students in our building. Another thing you'll be hearing about is MTSS. This stands for Multi-Tier System of Supports. After the first round of NWEA tests, we will be putting students into groups where we can help them with either academic needs or enrichment. If students are doing just fine on their NWEA tests, they're progressing in both math and reading, they will get to make some choices about what they do during MTSS time. If they are needing some extra intervention for reading or math, that's what they will be working on during MTSS. We do MTSS Tuesday through Friday. This first session begins September 28th, and it is during tutorial time. If your child has to be absent, please be proactive. The Cyclone teachers are very good at updating our week at a glance, where you can see all the assignments and which days and what's happening in all of the different classes. Students are allowed to email or use Microsoft Teams to contact teachers. We do want your kids here at school, but if they are sick, please let them stay home and rest. Adolescence is a tough time of growing, and if they're not feeling good, we're not going to see what they're capable of here at school. If someone's going to be gone longer than one day, you might want to get in touch with us prior to leaving if you're going to be on a trip, so we can help kids get on track. But again, that week at a glance is always available and is a great resource for knowing what's going on in all of the classes. So our first takeaway, use that week at a glance. It's going to come to you in a weekly email. It's also available a lot of times on Schoology pages. Some of us use the exact same format as what you see in the week at a glance in the weekly email, or we might have access to our daily slides that we put up on our front boards so that the kids know what we are doing in our classes each day. We are very, very, very into our students advocating for themselves. Everybody has to learn that skill. 7th grade is a great, safe place to start doing that. We want to stay connected to our families, so please, please, please follow us on Instagram at Walden Cyclones. Our communiCATOR is that weekly communication I've been mentioning. This is where you're going to see the link to the week at a glance. It's going to have all the information about what's coming up. If you are not getting this email, you need to let Mr. Mabry know. We send it to the addresses that are indicated in Infinite Campus. So if those have changed or you need to add anything, please talk to Mr. Mabry and he will get that updated. So again, cannot emphasize enough the importance of week at a glance, and that Cyclone communiCATOR, that weekly email that Mr. Mabry sends out, is just a one-stop shop for all information about the Cyclones team. We also do a remind. So if you haven't signed up for this app, you can go to, in your texting, type in 81010, and after that, the @7637AFH, and it will get you connected to a remind section that Mr. Mabry sends out if we have like spirit days and fun stuff like that. Don't forget, parent-teacher conferences are coming up November 3rd and 4th. You will sign up for a 25-minute block. You can actually check in with all the teachers during your 25 minutes. It is a sign-up genius. This is on our website. And here is the tiny URL that you can sign up with. So check that week at a glance. Make sure you're getting that weekly email. Sign up for parent-teacher conferences. And finally, another way you can support Walden is through our trash bag sales. It is a PTA fundraiser. We have a link for it in our weekly communication. And if you're a family that likes to go camping like we do, those blue bags are perfect for sleeping bags. Finally, some things that are coming up: trash bag sales and our spirit store where kids can buy their Cyclones team shirt. This September 21st is Middle School Tech Night. It will be taking place at Congress, where you can get even more detailed information about things like Infinite Campus and Schoology. October 21st is the end of first quarter. So October 22nd is a teacher workday, so we can get grades finalized so the students will not have school. November 3rd and 4th are conferences. November 4th is also a no student day because of conferences. There we are. There's your Cyclone teachers. Thumbs up. Thanks for your time. We look forward to getting to know you and your students.